Good morning, students. Today I'll continue chapter 3 of your Eco Applications class, that is economic entities. So, let me start the chapter. First economic entity is consumer. Now, who is a consumer? An individual who buys product or services for personal use, who makes the decision whether or not to purchase an item at a store. He is someone who can be influenced by marketing and advertisement. Such an individual is termed as customer or consumer in economics. What role does a consumer play in an economy? First is purchasing goods and services. He is the purchaser of goods and services. Maximize utility and make rational purchasing decision. So, purchase goods and services. The main role of the consumer is to spend money according to his purchasing power. How much money a person spends is based on his or her income. Next, maximize utility. Consumers play a role in the economy by maximizing utility, which means allocating their scarce resource such as limited time or money most efficiently. Next, make rational purchasing decisions, which means economic consumer theory hinges on consumers making rational buying decisions. The role is to measure all possible outcomes of their choice and use this knowledge to make an informed decision. Now, this slide shows the traits of a smart consumer. What are the traits? First, knowing the quality first. There should not be any panic buying. What is panic buying? When you see a very attractive ad in the television or any social media, you just run without understanding anything about the product. That is panic buying. Next, seeks value for every money spent. You value. Whenever you are spending each pie, you should value that, what you are purchasing against that money. Any smart consumer has always an alternative. It is, if this brand is not available and you are already sticking, so it's okay, I'll just shift on to some other for my just current use. That is, always has an alternative. Next, follows the budget. A smart consumer never exceeds his budget. That means whatever his income is according to his purchasing power, he limits his expenses within his income or within his purchasing power. Seeks variety. He can always go in for variety. He always has a scope for variety. He sees different varieties in the market. Next business entity is household. It is a person or group of people that share their income, require goods and services to satisfy their personal wants. We all are actually households. Owes all resources, labor, capital, land, enterprise. The members of household have two functions. What are they? First, they are the supplier of different factors of production. And the second, members of household also works as consumers. Next economic entity is firm. An organization that produces goods and services for sale is termed as firm. Main objective of firm is to maximize profit in the production process. Uses resources provided by household to produce goods and services. Sells those goods and services for income. So the two primary or the main function of a firm is produce goods and services and supply them in the market. Firms purchase inputs or raw materials from household to use them in the production process. Next is government as an economic entity. Just like households and firms, the government also earns income and makes expenses. Two major functions of governments are: government earns revenue from either tax or non-tax sources, both from household and firms. Government also provides essential public services such as maintenance of law and order, defense, service and judiciary, etc. Next big economic entity is financial institution. It consists of banks and non-bank intermediaries who engage in the borrowing and lending of money. The leakage that financial institutions provide in the economy is the option for household to save their money. So we will discuss about this term leakage later. Next economic entity is foreign sector. It consists of two kinds of international economic transactions. First is export and import of goods and services, and the second is inflow and outflow of capital. So whenever there is export, that is from one country to another country when the goods are being sold, that is export, and import when our country is taking goods from another country, that is import. So in this particular process there is an inflow and outflow of capital. So I hope till here it is clear to you. In the next class, for your better understanding, I will be discussing